kia ora, whakaalofa atu, and no mai haramai. Welcome back to this week's podcast episode. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the downloads, for the subscribes, for the messages, for the everything. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. On this week's podcast episode, we're talking about those labels that we place upon ourselves. And I've had a few really interesting conversations around labels. One just recently, and I was like, I'm going to bring this to the podcast because I want to know what you guys think about this. So, labels. What are labels? What labels are? You know, those things we place upon ourselves. I'm Polynesian. I'm young. I'm old. I'm a doctor. I'm a flight attendant. I'm an empath. I'm an optimist. I'm a pessimist. I'm a extrovert. I'm an introvert. I'm a Gemini. I'm a this, that, and the other, mother, daughter, father, all the things, right? Those are the labels that we place upon ourselves. And it makes sense why we do this. I want to talk about the pros and cons to doing this. So it makes sense why we do this in the first place. It's that identity. It's the self-understanding. You know, that's usually how we know our values, our beliefs. You know, if it's religious labels, it's the relationship labels, all those kinds of things. It's also how you meet new people and how you communicate. When you say I'm a mum, it's like automatically like, oh, she has children and you're a mum too. It's like, oh, we can relate on that. You know, we have this rapport. We understand each other. I'm Polynesian. Oh, she's Polynesian too. Oh, okay. So she's going to get me in the way that I was brought up and all these things, right? Oh, she's an extrovert. You know, oh, she's an introvert. Oh, she's an empath. She feels me. All these things. It's like it builds that community with other people. It's easier to communicate because you just raff off these labels, right? And then also for you, it's that self-understanding. I know myself because X, Y, and Z, because I'm all these labels, and that's how I know myself, right? I want to look at it in a different perspective because sometimes there are labels that we place upon ourselves that are not good for us, that are negative, that don't help us, that put us in this fixed mindset, that doesn't help us grow and evolve and all the things, right? So I want to talk specifically to that part. So things like, oh, but I'm an introvert. But I'm an introvert, so I can't do that. I've heard this with my clients. Oh no, you know, I'm shy and they're coming to me for confidence. And I'm like, baby, do you want to be confident or not? Because if you keep telling yourself you're shy and you're an introvert, then it's going to be so much harder to get to this point of confidence, right? Because you've already labeled, you've already put yourself in this box of I'm shy, I'm an introvert, and, you know, a confident person means to be an extrovert and to be loud and out there, right? So it's like, that's fucking mixed messages. How are you supposed to get that? And how's the universe or whatever you believe in supposed to get that either, right? And I think those are really great examples because with these labels, we make them mean things as well. We make introvert means you're shy and all these things, specifically with my client, right? And then an extrovert is confident, loud, outspoken, all these kinds of things, right? So those were the two different things that she had made these meanings or these labels mean. And I said to her, I was like, what about if you could do both? What if you could be both? Because we can, right? You know, humans, we're so multifaceted. It's like, yeah, I'm an introvert, maybe sometimes, but I'm also an extrovert. You know, maybe I'm a mum here, but I'm also a flight attendant. Or maybe, you know, to some people I'm old, but I'm also a young kid at heart. You know, there's all these things. We're multifaceted. We can be loud, but we can also be quiet. We can be confident and loud, but we also can be quiet and confident, right? There's these different types of things. And I go like this, right? Because I'm like, this is me just mushing it all together, right? You can be everything and anything, and we don't have to label ourselves, you know, and put ourselves in a box and close it up and be done with it. Because I think when we do that as well, it creates a fixed mindset. It's like, and no hate to old people, but it's usually in the older generation, right? When you propose something to them, oh, let's go on this roller coaster. No, I can't do it, I'm old. You know, oh, learn technology. No, I can't, I'm old. It's like, that's the label, is I'm old. You know, that's just the label that it is. Anything that comes up, oh, no, old people don't do that. Let's go clubbing. Old people don't do that. You know, oh, I'm old, I can't do that. And it's like, yeah, you can be old, but you can also you can go clubbing, you can go on a roller coaster, you can do all these other things. And when you have that mindset that's just fixed, it's like there's no room for growth, or it hinders your growth. There's no room for opportunities and the magic in between that fixed or outside of that box, right? We put ourselves in a box and there's no room outside of the box for all these magical things, all these opportunities, all these fucking cool as fuck things out in the world, because we've just put ourselves into this label, you know? So I think that's mainly the message, is when it comes to, you know, you putting yourself with these labels on it, you just close the box up, you lock yourself in there, and there's no room for growth, there's no room for anything else. So my challenge to you is to maybe drop the labels, especially ones that don't serve you, or to know that the labels can be ever changing, ever moving, multifaceted labels, right? Also, another one I see often, and I've had with my clients, is the health labels, right? Or yeah, health labels. Specifically, I had a client who came to me and she's like, thinks that she needs to lose weight and all these kinds of things. And obviously y'all know my journey, where I was like, it's not about the weight, y'all. It's about what we make it mean. It's about everything else out there, right? And she came to me, she's like, I have PCOS, so it means that, you know, I'm so tired. It means that I can't move my body. I can't lose weight. I can't have babies. I can't. And I was like, sis, snap out of it, girl. You know, if you put yourself into this box of, I can't have babies, I can't lose weight, I can't move my body, I'm too tired, it's like your words create your world, right? What you're saying, if you put out into the universe, or whatever you believe in, right? If you put it out there that X, Y, and Z, this is who I am, this is why I'm that way, what do you think's gonna happen? Of course you're gonna be tired. You know, of course you're going to not be able to lose weight. Of course you're going to, you know, not be able to have babies, right? Because there's evidence that proves that, right? Your doctor might even have told you that too. But it's like, what about the evidence that proves that there's so many women out there who have PCOS and who have babies? There's so many women out there who have PCOS and who aren't tired. There's so many women out there who have PCOS and have lost weight and all these kinds of things. So it's just like, choose what you want to believe. You know, what are you making that thing mean? Choose, if it's not serving you, let's choose something else. You don't have to put yourself and hide in the box and lock the door and close, you know, chuck away the key, be done with it. Let's open the door up and choose something else. If that label isn't serving you, let's choose a different label. Let's not even have a label. Ever had that friend who just rocks up and they're just like so and negative and I actually don't have friends like that anymore, but you're telling them about this big cool venture that you're about to do and they're like, oh, I don't think that's gonna work and blah blah blah, and you're like, whoa, like, why are you so negative around it? Oh, I'm just a realist. It's like, okay, if that's what you want to believe, but look at your world, because if your world isn't good, why would you want to believe that? You know, because you're a realist. Right? It's the same with, you know, people who identify with certain astrology signs. It's like, oh no, that's just the way I am because I'm a Gemini. That's just how it is because I'm a Gemini. And it's like somebody's coming to you, you know, saying like, hey, you know, what you just did there didn't make me feel good, or I didn't like the way you talked to me. Oh, that's just how it is because I'm a Gemini, I'm a Taurus, I'm an Aries, I'm a Pisces. Yeah, that's just me. That's my energy. It's like, no. Like if that's hurting somebody you love, you're not just that one thing. You could be that and you might see traits of that kind. You know, there's so many traits I relate to. I'm a Gemini that I'm like, yep, sounds like me. But there's also ones that I don't want to relate to. I don't want to be that way, right? Nah, I don't want to fuck with that shit. So it's like we don't have to go with that label. Also, OCD. People are like, oh, no, I just have to do it this way because I'm OCD and all the things. And I want to also be, I don't want to be insensitive here, But there's so much proof that shows that you can fight that shit, you can overcome that shit. It doesn't have to be that way, because when you do say I'm OCD and that's just the way I am, it's like there's no room for growth. It's this fixed mindset. There's no room for anything else. There's no room for opportunity. There's no room for extra magic and all the things. It's like we can do a million things, and I think this is one beautiful thing about people as well, as we're so multifaceted. We can be a million different things, a million different labels, and do all these other things, right? It's like we don't just have to sit in this box of I'm a mom and that means I have to be responsible, and I've made that mean that this and this. It's like, no, you can be a mom, you can be a boss-ass bitch, you can be at the clubs on the weekend shaking your ass, you can, whatever you want to be, right? You can be all these things. Just because you're Polynesian doesn't mean you have to be X, Y, and Z. You know, just because you're a certain race or age or size, or, you know, so many women come to me, I can't do that because I'm fat. I can't wear that because I'm fat. I can't wear that label. If that label that you're fat, if it doesn't help you, please don't identify with the label. Please don't. Choose a different label. Don't even have a label. You know, stop labeling ourselves and putting ourselves in these boxes and throwing it away with the key, because we're so amazing. We can be a million trillion different things. So that's the podcast. I think looking at the labels you put on yourself, what you make those things mean. Does it serve you? Does it help you? Does it not? Chucking it away if it doesn't. Choosing to believe something else if it doesn't serve you. But also it makes sense why we do these things. But I think when you say, who are you? And it's just these list of labels, it's like, remember, you're so much more than just those things. Okay, my memory card just told me it's getting full, so I'm going to go. That's the podcast episode. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll catch you next week. Ka kite, koe kia.